the 7 mistakes stopping you from losing weight. How to fix them today. The second mistake you're making, you're doing too much cardio, not enough strength training.
This is a funny one. I see that and I instantly think that it's somewhat of an uneducated approach. And I don't mean that as a dumb, uneducated approach. I mean it as someone that's ill-informed.
Yep.
And to think that it's one or the other, and that's the way that you need to train. Like we're training general populations. Sure, we've got a few athletes and people that perform at a high level in their respective sports, but ultimately our programs are geared toward general society.
Yep.
And for general health, you need a balance of both.
Yep.
And if you haven't got that balance from a programming perspective with respect to each day and week lending itself to targeting a particular movement pattern, muscle group, energy system, and having that balance across each of them, you're just not going to maximize your potential. And we see that a lot with a lot of programs that are out there. They gear themselves or bracket themselves as being one particular niche, but from an overall holistic approach to general strength and conditioning, there's a time and a place for both. It's just understanding, and that's our job, understanding how you manipulate that throughout the week to maximize recovery and maximize the results that people are going to achieve.
Like you say, when you work moving into the strength component of fitness or health and fitness, that there takes a little bit more education in terms of movement itself, in terms of maybe injuries people might have, in terms of learning how to use certain pieces of equipment. Some people aren't too keen to sort of walk into that weight room where there's a lot of guys banging, clanging, and
it can be quite confronting for them.
Absolutely. So it's a lot easier just to jump on the treadmill or to get outside for that run because there's less friction in terms of what you have to deal with. But over time, as people start to understand the importance of it, that's where they start putting in time. And that's the beauty of what we do. The amount of experience, the people we've worked with all over the years, we know how to introduce these movements over time, and we know what, bad movement looks like and how to correct things. And these are the things that we can do and help analyze and offer with the program.
Yeah. And from a base, like you need anaerobic base to develop strength. You need muscular endurance to develop overall strength. You need all of these basics to actually maximize your approach. There is a time and a place for both. It's just a more strategic way in which you structure it. And, you're the genius at that in terms of your programming, to ensure that people are lifting multiple times throughout the week, getting full exposure to each muscle group.
Yep.
They're combining strength with anaerobic type of conditioning, be it sprint workout to high intensity interval training or short rest interval workout to a zone 2 type approach. And having that balance, we see it with our clients firsthand. We're seeing the results that they're getting by being stimulated, not just physically, but more importantly, mentally, because long term, that's what's going to keep them coming back.
Yep.
And that consistency piece is the thing that actually gets results.
Yep.
So it works hand in hand.
No matter what age you're at, young, old, whatever type of work you do, strength training done correctly is going to help you in almost all aspects of life, unless you like running marathons. Even then, but you can look at the difference between a 100-meter sprint runner and a marathon runner. And
but even still, mate, like a marathon runner still needs strength. They still need that specific strength that's relevant to prevent them from getting overuse injuries and injuring themselves, and to maximize, they're running for a long time. You need strength to be able to do that.
The other part of it is the food side of things, your recovery. If you're training too much, you can usually burn through any ability to want to gain some muscle. And so then you've got to worry about your recovery, whether it's sleep, whether it's food. And then we talk about the metabolism, your body's ability to burn through calories when you've got more muscle. And so the idea of strength training and building muscle, maintaining muscle is going to help us burn or to lose that body fat that we're trying to get rid of.
Yeah. And one piece you touched on before, as we age, we need to have that strength there. For stability, it allows us to focus on things like improving our mobility and just gives us a much more stable foundation to prevent things like falls and unnecessary slips that ultimately send us on a pretty rapid downhill path if we fall victim to it. So it's a really important thing to focus on. It allows us to maintain quality posture. It allows us to present ourselves confidently when we walk into a room, when you've got that foundation of strength. And mentally, to be able to continually progress and improve your numbers each week with a progressive, structured approach, it's actually a very fulfilling way to train. And
Absolutely.
when done properly, you can get a lot of benefit out of it.
And I guess the beauty of the what we offer in terms of our program, we have different pathways with different goals. Burn, build, strong and perform. And those are 4 different pathways that basically cover all aspects, or, you know, everyone people want to lose weight with our burn, or build the shape, or build muscle, and strength. So we cover all those bases with our programming, and depending on what you want in terms of your goals, when we have a chat to you, we can recommend the right program for you, and strength is definitely in that.
I love that approach. I've always said this. I think for every individual, we've got a life cycle of our health and fitness journey. And, you know, in its simplest terms, if you think of a sedentary person that's sitting on their ass in the lounge smashing beers, for them just to get up off their ass and move, that's your day one. And something like F45 might be a progression from that, where it's a high energy, fun, community-based environment, high sweat, you're going to burn calories, and you'll get a result in that first 6 to 12 weeks. But then after that point, you need more progression in terms of developing more strength. So you might go to a trainer, and then you start working toward a more specific strength and conditioning program. Wherever someone's at in that health and fitness journey, each of our 4 tiers, burn, build, strong and perform, satisfy that aspect of their journey. And you can progress from one to the next, and you see the way in which the strength sets are structured, the movements that are included, the rep ranges, the time under tension, the recovery periods, everything is specifically structured to assist that member, that client, in getting the results that they need, but equally educating them around why they're doing what they're doing. Because the more we understand why we do what we do, the more invested we are, and once again, the more consistency we'll have. So it definitely works. It's a very good way to train. And the way in which it's delivered with the apps that we've got, it's just a game changer.